Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman. It's time for another 270 video. Today we will be discussing how to dominate in the Old South in the mobile game 270. I am playing as Stacey Abrams, a Democratic candidate who also possesses a positive Old South bonus. The Old South is a perfect state group to master, as it not only has a lower control cost of the 125k, but it can also be achieved in just 2 turns. There are various paths that can help you achieve the OS bonus. You can opt for the states of Maryland, North Carolina, Virginia, and Louisiana, or you can go for Maryland, Georgia, South Carolina, and Mississippi. Both combinations will give you exactly the magic number, and you can expand to possibly capture the full total of 93 electoral votes under the OS bonus. Why is the Old South bonus so crucial in 270? Well, for starters, it is cheap and thus can easily be achieved even in the early stages of the game. Moreover, it opens up opportunities to bridge to swing states and also provides access to 2 other 100k bonuses, African American and high tech. For most Republican candidates, the Old South bonus allows access to a large number of states. Democratic candidates can try to snowball Old South into AA, or they can focus on larger states like New York, California, Texas, and Florida outside of the Old South. Having control over the OS states will give you a significant advantage in securing key swing states such as Florida, which has 30 electoral votes. Additionally, Maryland and Virginia can also help you grab the high-tech bonus, which further boosts your chances of extending into New York or California to capture substantial EVs and winning the game. This ability to pivot from OS to swing, African American, or high-tech is critical. Players have to learn when to successfully pivot and how to provide pressure on their opponents to maximize success. So how can you ensure that you attain and maintain control over the Old South? One strategy is to focus on the states with higher costs like Georgia, North Carolina, or Maryland. These states have a higher risk to flip and can scare your opponent away from a brave move. Holding a few expensive states can also be easier than holding many cheap states at one time. Another strategy is to not defend your states at all in the early game. Spread out to all the other Old South states and only advance to the 3rd pip when you do not face any pressure. The problem with this is if you are too predictable, your opponents can take advantage of you. Someone like the famed Jason Casey could eat you alive if you don't differentiate your plays. Once you have played 100 matches or so, you will start to gain confidence in reading the board. Furthermore, always keep an eye out for any opportunities to seize control of OS states from your opponents. One strategy that works well for me is to save my bonus money for multiple turns and then go for a mega steal when someone is not expecting it. If you are worried about someone defending against a steal, steal for an unconventional number of pips. End on the 9th pip, for example, instead of closing out the state. Focus on states that have a high electoral per dollar ratio. Some great examples are Alabama, Georgia, and Virginia. If you're worried that a steal is too obvious, go for the steal in a state like Arkansas. Everyone always forgets to defend Arkansas early because it doesn't have an AA designation. Focusing on multiplayer matches specifically, the Old South is generally less contested. If you gain all 93 electorals, you are only 177 away from the winning score of 270. The advantages of going Old South early is that you are likely going to survive at least the first ballot because of the high floor of electorals. It also has many pivot points and gives you flexibility. Even an early clash provides pressure on your opponents for the remainder of the match. The disadvantages are you are foregoing the big 4 states of Texas, California, New York, and Florida, which is risky. You also likely have to choose to skip out on national groups funding. Choose a strategy that works for you and be willing to adapt. Look at your opponent's bonuses and try to predict what bonuses they are going to go after. If you are playing against a candidate with a 40% swing state bonus, but you still want to go Old South, choose a path that doesn't rely on multiple swing states in the Old South. In conclusion, mastering the Old South bonus will give you a significant advantage in the game. With its low control cost, potential to bridge to swing states, and access to other bonuses, it is definitely a group worth dominating. I hope these tips will help you become a force to be reckoned with in the Old South. Thank you for watching.